Welcome, Braves fans, to Indian Hill High School Arena, where the Indian Hill Braves are taking on the Anderson Redskins. I'm Rob Young with Brian Shaw, bringing you the live action tonight on Indian Hill Television Network Sports Channel 1 on YouTube. Brian, second game of the season. We're getting ready to do the national anthem, but when we come back, let's talk about what the Braves should expect this year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Well, Brian, you know, it's the first home game of the 2018-2019 basketball season. Indian Hill Braves opened the season last Friday against Turpin. It was a very tight contest until the fourth quarter when the Braves actually ended up losing that game by 6.
Right.
Young team, got some great guys coming up. You know, what do the Braves have to do to win tonight?
Yeah, another group of familiar foes. Anderson and Indian Hill have played each regular season forever, but new cast of characters really on both sides. Two totally different teams than what they were even a year ago. Friday night, as you mentioned, Indian Hill with a great start and played very well. Just got tired, in the fourth quarter. And I think the Braves tonight, you'll see a lot of substitution, a lot of guys in and out, trying to avoid a repeat until these guys get their legs underneath each other. A couple of football players very integral to this team, and a couple of guys, one of them you know really well, who were out of work last year with regard to not playing because of injury in Josh Young. So these are guys that are trying to get their game legs under them. Tonight, look for a lot of substitution. Going to be a team effort.
And they're announcing the starting lineup for Anderson. It's number 4, Garrett Rogers. Number 23, Michael Brady. Number 32, Matt Thone. Number 33, Joshua Dongle. And number 3, Alex Kirk. And your Braves starting lineup, number 1, Wyatt Watts. Trey Lopez, number 3. Number 11, Ben Bader. Those are your guards. Your big man inside is going to be Jalen Thornton, and your big wing is going to be Johnny Baltima. So, like we said, young team. You've got one senior, two seniors starting. One's a football player, number 15, Jalen Thornton, going to West Virginia next year to play football.
How about that?
Big body for us inside. You got Johnny Baltima that's got the outside shot.
Right.
Has worked really hard to get his inside game going. That'll be a critical piece against this Anderson team that's fairly decent-sized team.
Yeah, 3 seniors start actually with Baltima, Bader.
Oh, that's right, Bader.
And Thornton. But to your point, I mean, Bader didn't always start. Jalen didn't start. Trey started a couple of games. Wyatt, first varsity game last Friday. Not the youngest team with 3 seniors. I mean, that's kind of experience, 6 seniors on the team, but guys in different roles, guys doing different things this year and going to have different responsibilities. Should be a lot of fun.
So the Anderson Redskins win the tip, and they'll be shooting on the left-hand side of your screen tonight here for the first half. Pick set by Anderson, ball's out. Wyatt going for the rebound, and it'll stay to the Braves.
Yeah, one of the things you talk about when you think in terms of endurance, really nice to play defense for just one shot. So Braves off to a good start, giving Anderson just one shot on that possession.
Lopez with the ball out to pass the timeline to Thornton, to Wyatt, to Baltimore outside. Braves running that double screen on the inside, trying to get some open shots. Bader with the ball. Really unique thing about this offense is Bader's a true point guard. He would rather distribute the ball than shoot the ball.
Yeah.
And then you got Lopez that's kind of a cross between a cutting guard / small forward.
Yeah.
And then you got Baltimore that actually kind of act as a guard at the time in that outside role. But, you got Wyatt that's playing kind of that small forward role. And then, of course, you got Thornton on the inside. And the Braves go up on the board first.
Yeah, good sign. Ben Bader with the shot. And you're right. I mean, a lot of different offensive sets that the Braves run. No question that some of them are better suited for some of the guys on the floor than others. But that's a staple, what they were running there. And Braves get a good look, and Ben Bader able to hit.
When you talked about the bench, it went deep. Baltimore changing the shot direction on that. Rebounded by Thornton, who'll quickly get it to Bader.
Yeah, 2 straight possessions, 1 shot. Braves will take that.
Well, we've had 2 possessions for Anderson, 1 possession for Indian Hill. We're already 2 minutes into this quarter with 3 points scored total.
Yeah, well, like the patience of the Braves on their end, worked to get a really good shot last time.
Baltimore with a great move on the inside post. Take the Braves up 5-0 with 5:45 to go.
Yeah, Johnny Baltimore, Ben Bader both. These are 2 guys that are in the gym the entire time through the fall, through open gym. And 2 seniors going to need the leadership, and they've done a great job so far this year in being leaders. And, of course, being joined by Jalen Thornton as far as starting seniors, Jalen Thornton is as good a teammate as you'll find in any sport.
Shot off the mark, Thornton. Be Braves ball as Anderson steps out of bounds on that rebound.
Yeah, Braves keep their streak of 1 shot alive. It's not completely their doing, but we'll take it. Timeout here. 5:19 in the first quarter. Braves up 5-0.
So Friday night, Coach went 11 deep.
Yeah.
And really, you could say that, the fourth quarter, with about 2 minutes left, he cleared the bench with his seniors, playing guys that haven't seen a lot of varsity time. They were definitely out of sorts a little bit as a team. Like you said, they got a little winded. Didn't execute as crisply as I think Birch would like, but they did have a lot of energy and a lot of different guys that came in and added a different flavor to the formula. From Amari Whitehead, who's new to Indian Hill this year, Josh, Sam Richardson brings us an energy. You got Ty Thornton, who's a freshman that came in, and Brian Lewis, who all got significant playing time on Friday night.
Yeah, I think the great thing for the Braves this year, they've got a lot of guys that are interchangeable, and they also have a lot of guys that they can bring in without the scoreboard changing significantly. And those minutes are just incredibly important. for a team to be successful. Just giving everybody a break, everybody, not just physical, the mental part of the game. You know, it's really hard to do everything right for 3 or 4 minutes, much less, going 32 minutes a game.
Thornton goes up and draws the foul. That foul will be on number 33. And that's on Josiah Dungle.
Yeah, Dungle, good looking athlete. Jalen Thornton, how about, this guy who in this day and age where these kids are playing basketball year round, this guy puts the basketball away in March. He comes back to it when football's done, in this case in mid-November, and shows that, if you use your God-given, talents and attributes, you can be successful. Keep this game simple. And Jalen Thornton doing just that. They had a great game Friday night and off to a good start tonight. Always talk, if you're a guy like Jalen that's a big guy and can create space and can be a possession guy, make good plays offensively to help your team be efficient, great. You can be the smallest guy out there. That's still an advantage. When people have to guard you and they have to get down, you can get lower than they are. So all these guys have something that they can use to their advantage.
And for the Braves, Ty Thornton and Colton Brewer.
Cut. Yeah, great cut there. Anderson, another team, a lot of new faces. The two leaders of that team last year, Huxtable and Bodie, both playing college basketball. Bodie down at Cumberland's, Huxtable out at UC Claremont. Good team. Last year the Braves beat them at their place 43-29, and in large part did it because they rebounded the basketball. Tonight I know that's one of the keys for the Braves is to do the same here.
So Lopez gets his first foul with 4:30 left in the game, and it's now a 6-2 game, Braves on top.
Yeah, Trey, one of those guys that comes in late because of football, big part of that Braves football team that went to the second round of the playoffs. Baltimore in a trap here. And Coach Burchell called, well, I don't know if he got that timeout. Yes, he did. Yeah, but Trey Lopez fouling out of Friday night's game. And for a guard, you'd like to see your guards stay on the floor. They're not doing things that are right at the basket in large part. However, he picks up his first one right under the 10, and probably not a bad idea. Trying to avoid that basket, close that layup.
No, I would agree.
But this Anderson team has changed quite a bit too. A couple of years ago, DeAnthony McCallum, who's now down at Jacksonville State, terrific basketball player. They went through a couple of other guys that we just mentioned last year that were seniors. So really, an inexperienced Anderson team. And they're in the same process the Braves are, but this is their first game of the year, even less known for the Anderson Redskins. Braves doing a good job of really spreading things out. Ought to be some gaps here for guys like Lopez.
Lopez with a three, make it a 9-2 game with 3:45 left.
Braves picking up.
Baltimore on the paint.
Oh,
nice move. Lopez up the court. Taking it coast to coast, and he draws the foul. So Lopez with his 5th point draws a foul. He'll be at the line to make it a 3-point play as we get ready to bring in another Brave, Sam Richardson. All right, here comes the replay on Lopez as he takes his foul shot. You see Lopez gets it underneath the hoop. It comes all the way coast to coast, goes left to right, splits 2 defenders, gets a nice roll of the ball.
Yeah, Trey unable to make that last free throw, but the Braves maintain possession as Anderson unable to get a rebound cleanly. Yeah, Trey Lopez made his mind up early in his own paint. went the length of the floor, even though it was a 1-on-3. Good change of pace.
Baltimore with a 3 off the mark.
That hesitation really gave him an opportunity. Yeah, the Lopez, both those Lopez's, Trey and Mateo, really good at change of pace close to the basket. A lot of times defenders will move themselves and open up space for you if you can just change the pace a little bit.
Bader on the ball. Anderson brings it up past the timeline, working their offense. It's number 23 with the shot. That is Michael Brandy. The miss. Ty Thornton gets it over to Sam Richardson, another senior.
Yeah, one thing we don't know based on number of attempts last year was just how many of the Anderson players are shooters. So far, we're not seeing a lot of it, but it's early.
And we're going to have another guy coming in for the Braves. Two subs, a guy coming off the bench. Thornton will be back in at the next dead ball along with Young. Braves doing a great job of feeding that inside.
Yeah, great cut by Johnny Baltimore. Braves unable to get it to him.
Colton Brewer trying to tie it up, does a great job of slowing it down for the Braves. Bader gets bumped off his guy, and Anderson's able to score from the 3.
Yeah, looks like Ben turned the ankle a little bit there, but looks like he's fine.
Bader up past midcourt. Almost travels. Anderson, coach, won the travel call. Bader with the shot from 3 and drains it. The Braves are up 14-5 with 1:45 to go. Anderson with a shot off the mark. Rebounded by Thornton. Coach calling for them to set up their offense. That was a nice streaking Richardson through the paint. They should have dumped it into him. He would have been wide open. Outside to Brewer, who takes a 3 and drains it for a 3-point shot.
I love it. Rob, you think about this group on the floor right now, giving the Braves great minutes. 3 more Braves about to check in, 2 of them starters. And, boy, I tell you what, this group right here has just really done a fantastic job. Good wall up.
Nice wall, nice movement by the Anderson player.
Yeah, great job by Johnny Baltimore to contest without fouling.
Well, we're not going to get our substitutions in. There's 30 seconds left here in the first quarter as the Braves are up 17-7. A great start. We started great on Friday night. We were up as much as 16 points at one time in the game.
Right.
Baltimore with a nice baseline drive.
I swear, Rob, I think that's some of Indian Hill's best offense is when they're in the stall and really spread people out. For whatever reason, the kids move better when they do that. And it results in an uncontested layup, which is just what they wanted.
3 off, and it will. And it
looks like that's going to count. Yep. Well, I tell you what, terrific quarter for the Braves. You look at the number of guys that are now in the game that have gotten in and the contributions they've made. Great start for Indian Hill, not just on the scoreboard, but also with regard to the contributions.
Here comes a replay of Colton Brewer's first varsity basket, and it's a 3-pointer. We got Ben Bader dishing it out to Colton Brewer, wide open for a great shot.
Yeah, senior to senior, and you think about Ben and his ability to draw people, similar to last year with Marco Fiore, putting pressure at the rim and drawing help, and Colton Brewer doing a nice job getting himself ready to take the shot. A couple other things we saw there, Rob, we saw a freshman, Ty Thornton, come in, and Ty doing a terrific job. He's going to come back out here to start the second quarter. Josh Young, number 21, coming out to start this second quarter.
Brian Lewis. So you got the Thornton brothers bringing the hammer. And Trey Lopez, Brian Lewis, and Josh Young. Yeah. So a little different look of an offense. And and round out for the Braves.
Couple of sets of brothers playing here. We got some cousins that are together on this team, and Brian Lewis might be the only guy out there with the Lewis name, but he follows in the footsteps of many of them, including the Madeira killer, Brad Lewis.
That is right. Young will draw the foul on number 1 for Anderson. Joey Newton.
You know, Rob, you think back to last year in the Braves with a win, 14-point win at Anderson. That's an Anderson team that throughout the rest of the season beat Kings twice, beat Walnut Hills, beat Withrow, beat Loveland twice, and beat Turpin twice. So it's a good win last year. The Braves off to a good start tonight.
It's 19-10 game. Braves up with 7:36 left in this second quarter. Young with a nice dish to Lopez, who goes into the paint, misses it, rebounded. They're going to call that a foul on Thornton over the back. I like that aggressiveness. But
I do too. I do too. Just need to make sure that he's picking up fouls that are helpful to the team. That one might not have been a good decision, but I do like his aggressive nature.
You know, the one thing about the Braves squad, regardless of who's out on the field, out on the floor, is when they play together, they are unstoppable. It's when they try to start doing the individual stuff and do too much that it usually gets the Braves into trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true of 99.99% of basketball players, and we can name the ones that doesn't apply to.
And the GOAT doesn't. The two GOATs that I like to call them, because I think the NBA, the basketball has two GOATs.
Yeah.
Young's going to draw the foul, so this is going to be a 4-point play for Anderson.
And frankly, it's boring basketball. I don't know about you, but, I mean, I love LeBron James, but, gosh, when they play that bully ball and LeBron just has in his hands, you know, trying to set somebody up for that individual play, it's just not enjoyable. Of course, he's really enjoyable to watch just because he's so terrific. But
so that foul was considered after the basket, so it's no foul shots. And Young's got screened off of that player who got wide open. Thornton was unable to get out there to contest the shot. A great three-point shot by Anderson to pull it within 3.
Yeah, Anderson doing a nice job all of a sudden of finding guys and screening and getting uncontested shots.
Rebound by Wyatt, down to Young, to Thornton. They're going to pull it back out, reset this offense with 6:30 left. The Braves are up 19-16.
Yeah, Wyatt with a great game on Friday night against Turpin.
Nice shot by Lopez. That'll be his 7th point. So it's a 21-16 game.
Wyatt doing a little bit of everything. And another guy that's brand new to varsity basketball. Wyatt, the one thing to watch for him that I absolutely love is nobody speeds him up. He will play the pace and be effective at that pace that he wants to play.
Young gets in the face of the shooter, contests it. Shot's no good. Braves with the rebound. Lopez left alone up at the top of the key, off the mark.
Yeah, right now Braves fortunate, you know, that Anderson's getting great looks, and it's really not as much about the Braves right now as it is Anderson shooting. So see the Braves tighten things up here, start to work through those screens. Great defense there by Brian Lewis.
Braves slow it up. Let Lopez set the offense out to Thornton.
It's a one thing about Brian, you know, you just like to see him compete physically, and he did a great job of it there.
Little skirmish. Lopez goes up. That basket is not going to go in. Thornton with the rebound. And yeah,
right now, Rob, Braves doing a great job. Love the aggression. But right now, the Braves getting away from what you talked about earlier, which is playing together. A lot of guys making plays individually, but got a couple of seniors that are going to come in that maybe a little bit of kind of stability, and hey, let's get this thing back on track where we're playing together offensively and defensively.
Nice cut by Lopez, goes up 23-16. Anderson player loses his shoe.
Seems like it's almost every time down the floor, doesn't it? They're taking a wide open look. But, you know, again, some of that is, I think, Indian Hill trying to figure out who can actually shoot the basketball, and probably, you know, okay with certain guys taking shots. But it's hard to know who those guys are right now. These Anderson players with not a lot of experience.
Lopez in, and the fingertip roll for another basket.
Yeah,
that's his 11th point.
Love Trey getting that shot out of the offense. I mean, that is the ultimate combination when you take a kid that's that athletic, making a play and using his athleticism, but doing it within the offense. That's what every coach dreams of.
But the Braves have got to figure out how to stop those outside shooters. 23 with that basket, uncontested. Baltimore up, off the mark, rebounded by Anderson. Nobody. Great defense by Trey Lopez to strip that ball.
Yeah. Anderson doing a good job, but conversely on the other end of limiting Indian Hill recently to one shot. Indian Hill, though, making shots. So Maury Whitehead is going to come in for the first time tonight. The junior who started his high school career in New Jersey. Family moved to Cincinnati. Was a defensive back for the football team this year. Great
athlete.
Yeah, I think probably Indian Hill's best on-the-ball defender. That was a sophomore, believe it or not, number 20 for Anderson.
Big boy.
Yeah, Josh Overbeek, forward, 10th grader.
The officials slowing these substitutions down, reminding them that they have to check in at the X and then get the horn to come in. They can't just run onto the court.
That's hockey.
Nice pick set by Whitehead. Trey with a dish out, Bader inside. Nice little fingertip, rebounded by Baltimore, who goes up and gets the second chance points. That'll make it 27-19 as the Braves pull back away. Baltimore with 6 points, Lopez with 11.
Johnny Baltimore going to play college basketball and going to be really good, especially as he gets older, playing college basketball. He's going to be a really good player, a great high school player. But that's the one thing that the Braves could sure use a lot of this year is Johnny Baltimore at the basket.
Whitehead with the rebound, but steps on the out-of-bounds line.
Johnny doing it on both ends, contesting for that defensive rebound and, of course, getting the putback on the offensive end. Braves with a lot of height coming through. A couple of younger players coming through, Robinson and Matthew coming through. That
Matthew Fife,
yeah.
both 6'7" plus. Don't know what they're listed at. Matthew Fife is listed at 6'7", but I think he's closer to 6'8". And you've got Luke Robinson.
Yeah, listed at 6'8", and I think he's every bit of it. Both those guys right now working and getting better every single
Whitehead
day.
with a great baseline drive.
And at some point, that's going to be the rim protection. That's going to be the possessions, and that's going to be a scoring threat. Both of them. Talk about Amari as an on-the-ball defender, and there you go. Creating some chaos.
I'd like him to see him. Nice pass. 2 points. So it's a 31-22 game, a 9-point lead for the Braves with 1:37 left here in the first half. Lots of guys for the Braves coming in early in this game. Lots of guys getting good minutes for the Braves.
Yeah. Good news about that. Rob, obviously, you're playing with a lead and you're playing with a rested team. That's a recipe for success. Sometimes you're playing with the lead, but your guys are hanging on. And not the case tonight, and I don't think it'll be the case this year. I really think there are enough, and sometimes, you can get spoiled. If you've got a Damani McIntyre, or you've got a Jack Kravac, or a Johnny Baltima, or you got a Lonnie Grayson, you can really lean on those guys, and you're scared to death to take them off the floor because they're so much better than everybody else. Well, that's not really the case. There are a lot of guys that are really capable, and they're bunched together, I think, which to me actually is a better thing, because I'd rather have a rested player playing 100% with a little less talent than I would a guy that's running on fumes. And the Braves have that. The other thing I like about it too, Rob, is for a coach, the only currency they have is playing time. And if a kid's not doing something you'd like him to do, that's really the only answer, is to have him sit down and watch the game and talk to him and put him back in. But then when they know somebody can come in and replace him, now you're talking. Now you got what you need as a coach to get the best out of your players.
Lopez with his second foul. Take a seat here for the rest of the first half. Johnny contested. It's in.
Yeah, if you've watched Anderson shoot the basketball tonight, no reason to raise up defensively when they show you the basketball. You can close out, you can keep the hips down, put the hands high. Braves giving them an opportunity to get in the paint there.
Whitehead takes a step, goes in, off the mark.
I like it, though. Braves going to the basket. Braves getting opportunities.
Well, as you know, we always talk about it. I know we're only 2 games into the season, but it's all about preparation for March.
Sure.
And this team has to be able to go 11 deep. They have to get good minutes from everyone. They have to have multiple scorers, multiple rebounders, and multiple defenders.
Yeah. In this team in particular, Rob, I think given all the new faces here, guys that haven't done it before, get guys that are getting acclimated to the speed of the game at the varsity level, like, let's say, Wyatt. You got guys that are learning the system, like Amari, who's never been here. You got guys like Ty, that it's both things are occurring at the same time for him. So, I think this team is one that can get a lot better as guys start to get more comfortable. The game will slow down for them, and they'll get more familiar. When that happens, it's going to give the coaches the ultimate flexibility, because everybody will be capable of running everything offensively, and these guys will get better defensively. The other thing is, hey, at some point with all of these guards and with all of this depth, maybe we start to extend the pressure a little bit. Maybe we start to do some more things defensively because we've got the basics covered.
So the Braves are going to take a 7-point lead into the halftime here. It's 31-24, Braves up here on a Tuesday night in Indian Hill Arena, where the Braves are playing the second game of the season. Lots of playing time by lots of guys. The key is they went in at halftime with a lead on Friday. They ran out of gas. Right. I think tonight's going to be a different night, but we got to have all those 11 guys he played playing all the way through the fourth quarter.
Now, given these kids are 14 through 18 years old, and how much substitution happened in that first half, Rob, if they can't finish strong, that's not coach's fault, that's for sure.
I would agree.
Got to get the jump rope out if that's the case.
Well, I'm Rob Young with Brian Shaw. We're going to take a short break here, folks. We'll be back in about 9 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm Rob Young for IHTN Sports on the YouTube channel. 7-point lead over the Redskins. It's 31-24. Trey Lopez lit it up with 11 points. Johnny Baltima and Ben Bader both with 6. Lopez has 2 fouls. That'll be our starting lineup. In the second half will be Wyatt Watts, Trey Lopez, Ben Bader, Jalen Thornton, and Johnny Baltima. So, Brian, Braves did well in that first half.
Sure did.
They did well in the first half on Friday. Now we just got to keep that momentum going, keep that energy going, and make sure that these guys continue to play tough basketball for another 16 minutes.
Yeah, looking over at that Braves bench, 6 guys with their warm-ups off. So it tells you they played 11, and I think that's going to be the difference.
Anderson scores first, number 33. Josh Dotchell, who the score on the scoreboard is incorrect. They've only got him listed with 2 points, but that was not his first basket.
Yeah, for the Braves, Trey Lopez with a huge first half. I think that's 11 points.
It was 11 points. Baltima and Bader both with 6. Lopez with the only fouls. And that'll be a turnover on the Braves. And a missed shot, Bader with the rebound. So the Braves saved that one. It's 31-26. Braves still scoreless this half. Baltimore up at the top. Back to Bader. Some sloppy passing by the Braves. And I don't think Coach is happy about it.
Well, a timeout will tell you, first of all, what you need to know. But second, I always like it when the team is playing offense on the other end of the floor. It's easier to talk when kids are playing defense. But Braves this end, and I think Coach is watching that and seeing some opportunities that close to it, wants to talk about it. Talking to some of the parents at the half, I think everybody in consensus, everybody thrilled at the way the Braves are getting guys in and playing a lot of people. I think it's doesn't matter where you are. Your son could be Johnny Baltima and has a lot on his shoulders. Your son could be Brian Lewis, and you just want to see more and more minutes. I mean, everybody wins when the Braves do it this way.
Lopez slips but retains possession of the ball.
Curly Neal right there.
Anderson's made an adjustment to their defense. Lopez throws it up. Thornton tries to save it, turns it over to the Redskins. Bader cuts off the ball.
Yeah, no shot clock in high school basketball here in the state of Ohio, Rob.
No,
the sense of urgency is great, but maybe a little too much.
That's Michael Brandy with a three-pointer to make this a 2-point game.
Michael Brandy, one of 2 players that had some experience from last year's Anderson team.
That ball's stripped out. It will stay Braves.
And Brandy's father, the freshman coach, does a great job over at Anderson. Coach is way out on that floor.
Yes, he gets a warning from the ref.
Yeah, Anderson coach.
That is the Anderson coach, yes.
Braves can afford to be patient.
Bader with the shot. It's off the mark. Thornton tries to rebound it. It's Anderson ball.
Yeah, great job there by Ben Bader using that screen from Jalen Thornton. You'd like to get some screens from Jalen, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jalen going to the Big 12 next year as a defensive player. All the games I watched in the Big 12 this year, Rob, looked like 7-on-7. So I'm not sure, but I can tell you what, they're going to get instantly better. That whole conference will get instantly better.
He's going to play in that 3-man front for Wyoming, and that ball is rejected. and retained by Anderson.
Yeah, one of the things Braves get from playing the Eastern Cincinnati Conference is they get bigger schools with physical kids, and it just makes them better when they get to league play. So the second game against the ECC in as many games for the Braves. And these games are additive to them as a team.
Well, the joke last year and the year before were that if the Braves actually were in the ECC, they would have won.
They would have. I think they swept last year, and maybe the year before too.
The year before they did last year, they lost to the new West Claremont High School,
right,
which
Wolves.
was Glen Estee and Amelia that joined forces and became a power.
Yeah, I remember that now that you say it. Braves with, I think, 5 games in 8 days or something like that. They got backed up due to snow. Ran out there and just ran out of gas. But that was, I think, the 5th game in 8 days. But Braves do really well in that. And I think, in large part it's the way they're coached.
Lopez with the steal. Jumps over his player. He's going to get called for the foul. Oh, nope, they call it on Cook, number 3, for Anderson.
Yeah, game's tightened up. Anderson kind of getting physical with the Braves, able to get some second chance shots. Again, Braves do well to limit Anderson one shot. Obviously, the odds are with you in that case, but also the fatigue factor. Ty Thornton in the game. Amari in the game.
Out to Bader for a 3, and he drains it. That'll be his 9th point of the game. Whitehead bringing some intense defense.
Yeah, Amari Whitehead, you think about the Braves.
Jump ball, great tie-up.
Change from last year to this year, and one of the things they lose, is some football guys and some competitors, some guys that really got after it when things were hard. I think Amari Whitehead an opportunity to give the Braves another dimension in that area. Saw him in the summer, and he really just can physically go change games.
Bader drives into the lane off the glass for the fingertip roll. That'll be his 13th point.
Yeah, one of the things you notice about Ben Bader here as a senior, Ben's put on a little weight, and it's all good weight. Ben Bader a lot stronger around the basket and offensively, enabling him to finish on plays like that.
Double it up on the base. Opens the 3 off the mark. Baltimore with the rebound. Bader bringing the ball up the court to Ty Thornton, who goes in, puts it up off the mark a little bit, rebounded by Anderson.
Yeah, I love that. Ty Friday night got 3 shots, all of them 3-point baskets. Like to see him use that length and athleticism go to the basket. Nice job.
It's going to be on Baltimore. Be his first foul, team first foul of the half, as the Braves lead the Redskins 36-29.
Yeah, Johnny Baltimore doing a great job tonight. He has had to defend quite a bit, and for that to be his first foul, he's doing everything right. Walling up, getting those elbows to the ears. Johnny Baltimore having a fine game. Again, you look at the guys on the floor. I know they've subbed out some starters, but you can't tell me that you expect anything different with this group on the floor. I think the Braves continue to have success. They got a lot of combinations.
Thornton on the pick for Thornton. Out to Amari Whitehead.
Yeah, Jalen staying with that pick, and like to see them start to move him toward the basket coming out of that. Very capable at finishing.
Got Richardson in the game. Whitehead is going to drive it in. And that basket's going to count. Great shot by Whitehead. Let's see if we can get a replay of that. That's a great drive, pull up, draws the foul, puts the basket in.
Yeah, Amari, as soon as he caught it and looked at it, you knew he wasn't going to shoot it. yet he's still able to get the defender up on his toes and takes him to the basket.
This is just textbook. Drive the lane, get into your guy, pull up. I'd like to see him stay a little square, but it counted. It's all good. Braves
Great
up.
job finishing that three-point play, too.
39-30 as the Braves are up by 9.
Oh, I like that. Great pivot.
Whitehead's way up the court.
By number 23 for Anderson. Gave himself a clean look, just too impatient, passed it. See, the other thing Braves are capable of doing when you get a lead, you know, and you're trying to close a quarter and you're going to get that break here at the end of the quarter. Opportunity to take the air out of the ball a little bit. See if they get one of these Anderson help defenders away from the basket. As they showed earlier in the game when Johnny Baltimore had the uncontested layup, they'll take the layup when it becomes available, even if it happened now.
45 seconds left. The Braves are just going to move this ball around, take the air out of it, like you said, Brian, and try to take at least a 9-point lead. It's going to be out of bounds on Anderson, so the Braves have got 35 seconds to make something happen. They'll be inbounding it from underneath their own basket.
Yeah, Coach is talking to Amari about cross-court passes, and it wasn't the kind of cross-court pass you might think of when you think of a cross-court pass, but nonetheless, one side of basket line to the other. Hard to get it through there. Now they're going to bring in some experience here, some offensive players. 30 seconds left. It's one of the things I love about Indian Hill. They do what they do. Everybody knows what they do. You talk to coaches around the league, they all know it.
Out to Baltimore for the three, and he's off the mark, but rebounded by Thornton. Rebounded by Lopez. It's a loose ball, and it's going to be a jump ball. Should be Braves ball underneath their own basket.
But, you know, Rob, you know, what we're talking about, they do what they do. The offense doesn't change a lot year to year. But these kids understand how to execute it. And, you know, you put anybody out defensively, even if they know what's coming, if they have to defend for a minute or a minute and a half, there's not a whole lot they can do about it. Eventually they're going to break down. It's whether your kids understand what you're trying to do.
Yep.
And I love the fact that Indian Hill is very transparent about that. We're going to do what we do, and our kids understand it.
3-point shot off the mark. So the Braves will take a 9-point lead into the fourth quarter. Will it be enough to finish this out?
Well, I think it will. I mean, I don't see any reason it wouldn't. Braves are rested. Braves are actually getting better shots, I think, in this game than Anderson is. Anderson's taking a lot of jump shots. They've shot it just well enough to hang around. But, you know, Indian Hill took a shot there physically from Anderson. Came out, tightened that thing up to 2 points. Braves were able to withstand it and spread it back out. But, you know, that point we were just talking about with the Braves being consistent, these guys, by the time they're juniors, they really, really understand what Indian Hill is running because it's the same kind of thing year to year. Everything builds on itself. And, you know, how many times do you see coaches that just run too much stuff? Guys that just have one, we're going to trick them with this. We're going to do that. You know, everything that they're running really has a counter. If a guy overplays, you backdoor him. If a guy doesn't play tight enough, you got a shot. They do a lot of stuff that it just requires a defense to really play well, stay alert, and stay focused for a long period of time. And, Rob, you know this as well as anybody. It's hard to do that. It really is hard to do that, even if you know what they're running. Well, 8 minutes left, my man. You got a prediction?
I'll take Braves. I think they're rested. I think if Coach will play 11 guys through this quarter, we'll win it.
Yeah,
if he sticks with these 5, they're going to get tired, and I don't know that we can win it.
Yeah, I like the Braves to extend it, actually. I like the Braves because they're rested, and I think at some point Anderson's going to have to do some things to try to get, to tighten this thing up and maybe pay for it.
Yeah, I think the Braves can extend it. Again, stay with what's been working. Rotating guys in, keeping guys fresh. And that's going to be a foul on Thornton. That will be his first foul, team second foul.
I was watching these guys in warm-ups, and I was thinking about Josiah Dongle, thinking, where's he been? He's a senior. This is a guy that, I mean, you look at him and you watch him move and you think, gosh, that's a guy that, looks like a basketball player to me. Maybe he's new to the district. I don't remember him from
I don't remember him last year either.
Yeah. One thing that is important, as much as the Braves are rested, et cetera, is continue to attack.
Travel.
Yeah, I want to see the Braves continue to attack, and let's try to win this. Let's not try to survive it.
So we're a 7-point game with 6:40 left. Bader strips the ball, but goes out of bounds. Great defense by Bader.
Yeah, Ben Bader just too quick to put the ball in front of him. And again, that's what I like about this team. If they can get all 11 guys learning and getting better collectively as a group, got an opportunity to extend pressure. I'd like to see that maybe when we get to January, February. Boy, I tell you, that is something.
Where has he been?
Yeah,
That was a man move.
That was an athletic move, but then think about the pivot foot to split the defenders and get that ball up with the right hand. Amazing. Oh.
Travel.
Yeah. Trey trying to do too much is to some people's liking, but you know what? Did you see him split that double? I mean, when you can do things like that, why not? You end up trying to do too much because you can. Man, that's something. He's done that a couple times. Did the other end of the floor earlier tonight, and usually, that first one he did in the first half resulted in a pass to the corner to a wide open Ben Bader. But boy, I mean, he really draws help and gets people moving around with that penetration. Just got to give him some angles to make passes. People making themselves available so that he can find them, because he's more than a willing passer.
Yeah, I would agree.
He's really that player that you said, like earlier in the game when he had a 1-on-3, and you're like, no, yes. But that was kind of amazing in the first half where he had that 1-on-3 and he was going 100 miles an hour, and then he slowed it down to 50 and the pieces just moved out of his way and he turned the Jets back on and finished. Quite a player.
He is a great athlete.
Yeah, love watching him return punts. Boy, I tell you. It's
very elusive.
Yeah, if you don't know who Mike Nelms is, Google Mike Nelms. I swear Trey Lopez must be his cousin. Jalen doing a great job right now on potentially Anderson's best player. Good job.
Good defense.
Yeah, I was worried that we weren't going to get that. I mean, he did such a great job defensively for the last 45 seconds. I was worried we weren't going to get the ball. like Jalen's going to, come up, set a little screen.
Bader open with the shot off the mark. Rebound Wyatt. Up, off. Lopez with the rebound, out to Bader.
Yep.
Pull it back out.
Run
Reset
something.
it.
There you go. I love it. I love it. A lot of people have the train of thought that when you got the defense scrambling, you get the ball off an offensive rebound, jack up that three. I like that decision. Make them play defense a little bit more.
Baltimore with the rebound and the putback.
Yeah, once again, talk about Johnny Baltimore. At this level, where he is right now, playing for a high school team, invaluable for him to be a presence around the basket. This makes this team exponentially better.
Thornton shutting down 33.
Good job staying on the floor. Yeah, Johnny has just gotten so much by. I know he has been a terrific player for years now for Indian Hill, but he's even better. I mean, the numbers tonight, throw them aside, it really doesn't matter. His game is just so solid in so many areas.
We're going to get Wyatt for the foul, and we're going to see Sam Richardson coming in for the Braves. 3:40 left. The Braves are up by 7. Whitehead in for the Braves.
All right. Johnny's, I think, going to move out to guard Dongle.
3-point shot.
I give Anderson a lot of credit when we've come out of dead ball situations. Came out first play of the second half, that inbounds play. They do a really good job of getting stuff out of dead ball situations. Coach DeLattelle has been there for several years now, and I think he's really come into his own as a coach. I mean, he's really gotten good. You look at what they've done in the league. Last year, 8-6, very difficult league. And like I said, he's dealing with a completely new team. 4-point game here at Indian Hill. He's dealing with a completely new team this year. I think that the top returners had maybe a couple guys that averaged 4 points a game.
And I'm going to take a guess that a lot of this offense that we're seeing from Anderson is all being developed by Chris Carletti. You remember that name from back in the days? He's 4 years older than us, Brian, but he was Mr. Basketball in '82.
How about that? How about that?
Owned JC's. Jeff Carletti's little brother, Chris Carletti.
How about it? You're going back.
Digging deep.
Now, where would he hail from, Rob?
He hails, I think, from Anderson.
Okay.
I think that's where they grew up. I don't remember, but he actually was recruited by Yates, played 1 year with Yates, and quit. That was back in those 80 days.
Sure. Tony Yates, one of the all-time greats. The national champion, right, at UC?
Yep.
I'm trying to think where Tony Yates go to school. Was that Lockland? Did he play at Lockland?
I think he was a Lockland boy.
Yeah, Tony Yates had a heck of a recruiting class right before he left.
1986 incoming freshman class. Probably one of the best recruiting classes never to play the game.
Yeah.
None of those guys ever played.
Lavertus Robinson.
What was that, Title 12, or what was the academic?
Prop 48.
Prop 48.
Prop 48,
Thank you. I knew you would remember the numbers.
Well, wait a second. Are you saying that there's a academic deficiency here? Lou Banks, Keith Starks, some great ones. Well, while we were talking UC basketball game going on here, apologize for that, but Indian Hill called for the loose ball foul.
It's a 41-37 game with 2:30 left.
The referee looks familiar.
I think you've seen him in a lot of rec games.
How about that? Trey Lopez says, I'll show you how to slow him down a little bit. Right at the basket.
Causes him to change direction, and he misses the shot.
Yep.
Lopez thrown into the wall there, but the Braves keep the ball, and Anderson with the foul.
Yeah, great job by Trey, and nice finish, nice follow, I should say, by Johnny Baltimore. Trey Lopez choosing to go from the left side over to the right side of the rim.
That was on James Camden.
I think
that was
Lopez,
his first team third foul.
Trey Lopez giving us a triple axel, triple Lutz on that one.
If he had skates on, that would be correct. Bader driving down to the timeline. Gets it out to Richardson.
I love this. You know, you fall asleep, turn your head, don't see man and ball, whatever the case may be, and it's a basket.
It's going to be a foul on Josiah Dungle. That will be his second foul, team fourth foul. So we've got 1:26 left here. Another foul on Anderson. That'll be their team fifth. And you know, with 1:26 and game this tight, they're going to foul.
Absolutely.
They've got two more to give. One more to give, I'm sorry. That was their sixth.
Yeah, so Braves right about now thinking about guys that can shoot free throws. Anderson thinking about it too, but see what Jalen Thornton has here. Jalen Thornton, in this day and age where everybody plays the game year-round, this is a guy that just comes in and makes it look easy. So let's see if he can go to the line. And
it's the seventh team foul. Well, they haven't put it up yet. Should be a one.
Yeah,
they already had six.
Wow. Maybe the scoreboard was wrong. Well, Trey Lopez will go to the line. I think maybe we just had the wrong number up there on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Whitehead's coming in for Wyatt. Good game by Wyatt.
Yeah, Wyatt does a little bit of everything. Really could develop into the consummate glue guy for this team. You know, you look at his night Friday, scored a little bit, got some rebounds, had a few assists. Wyatt does a nice job.
Lopez drills the second one. It'll be 43-37.
Huge free throws.
So 6-point game, 2 possessions. A minute left in this game, folks, as the Indian Hill Braves lead the Redskins by 5.
Yeah, Trey Lopez showing a lot of leadership
by 6.
there. By making those free throws, that's big.
Whitehead knocks it out of bounds. I'll take that.
Yeah, Lopez, a guy you can trust. Hey, go to the line, you knock him down. That part of the game, that's a big pick-me-up for the team.
4.9 seconds left. You probably wouldn't recognize Chris Carletti. He's the one sitting on the bench with the same haircut as the head coach.
Yeah, well, you can kind of tell. You can kind of tell, can't you?
I'm sure you were a frequenter of JC's, weren't you?
He's in pretty good shape.
So we got 49 seconds left in this game, folks. It's a 43-37 game. The Braves are up by 6. Anderson with the ball, inbounding underneath their own basket. 3 off the mark. Lopez with the ball. Not the guy you want to be fouling, but we'll take it.
Yeah, Trey Lopez is going to get an opportunity to go back to the line and make this a 3-possession game. Right now, that's all you're thinking about. You just want to get this thing to 3 possessions. Thinking the odds are in your favor if you get there with 42 seconds left. It's all about this first one, though, Rob. It's all about this first one.
So we're still shooting a one-on-one. Lopez with his first shot. And it's in. That'll make it a 44-37 game.
One thing we might not, a lot of people might not have noticed is that Anderson's best player, Dongle, had a little issue, went over to see Terry. Terry was so good and quick that Dongle's back in the game. Maybe Terry's a little too good at her job.
That is true, but unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Anderson's orthopedic guys are Beacon as well.
Right, well, yeah, but they weren't here doing the little work on the cut on the finger.
No.
Yeah, or on the hand. Looks like she wrapped him up there. Nice job by Terry Conti as always. If she got paid by the hour, there'd be some kind of law being broken about minimum wage.
That would be true. So there's 23 seconds. It's going to be Braves ball. We're going to make a shout out to some of our booster sponsors. We got Bob Summerall, Jeff Weiler Automotive, Grass Core, Dial 1, Beacon Orthopedics, Sipsy Klein, Clee Camp Paving, Huntington Bank, and Everything But the House. Any you'd like to add? Shaw Foundation.
Eads Fence. Procter & Gamble. Boy, if we get some scratch from those guys, you know, we could build your dream arena.
Oh, not mine. It's the Shaw Auditorium.
Yeah. Cintas.
So Bader at the line, and he's off the mark. Thornton with the rebound. It'll be a jump ball. That'll be Anderson. They must have called a lane violation.
Well, I think Jalen just got that rebound off the miss.
Or another foul.
Yeah, and he got fouled. Yeah.
Now we're at 10 fouls.
Yep.
The foul count on the score clock was not correct. It's 10 fouls, so it's a 2-shot automatically. Thornton off the mark. Whitehead in again. Thornton drying his hands off on his teammate's shorts. You gotta like that. What is that, Brian?
Well, you know what that tells me is that Jalen thinks he's working a little harder than Ben is.
And his shorts are wet and Ben's are not? Is that what you're saying?
That's what other conclusion could you draw, Rob?
And they drain a 3. Anderson calls a timeout with 11 seconds. It's a 40-45 game.
Yeah, Rob, I mean, great night for the Braves. First of all, you don't want to start 0-2. You get a lot of guys in, you get a lot of contributions. I can't think of a guy on the team that played tonight of the 11 that didn't do something to help this team. And I think they got to feel really good about it. And right now, hey, I like going back into practice tomorrow, and there's a lot of competition. You know, hey, there are guys that are varsity basketball players that have proven themselves, that have gone out in the game and done something. They've got that now. And I think tomorrow you'll probably see practice reflect that. And I think you'll continue to see a lot of Braves on the floor.
I would agree.
So looking ahead, Friday night, Braves travel to Madeira.
That'll be a loud house again.
Yeah, always a packed house. And, big test for the Braves coming out. Of course, the league games, always the most important. And, I think a lot of people always fall in love with that Wyoming rivalry. But, hey, no bigger rivalry for Indian Hill than playing against Madeira in basketball.
White gets the ball into Lopez, who gets fouled.
Trey Lopez had a fantastic night. What's he sitting at, 15?
He is sitting at 15.
And 2 fouls.
You got Bader at 11.
Yeah, I like that. The 2 fouls in particular.
8. Yep.
You know, and I think part of that is the subbing. You know, lack of fatigue, being on the floor for spurts. But I think part of that is Trey Lopez knowing how important he is for his team and staying on the floor.
Ten seconds left here in the game. Ooh, that did not look good. Let's see if we can get a replay on that. That did not look good.
Yeah, it looked like a turned the ankle there.
And he's had ankle issues.
Sure.
That's not good for the Braves. Trey's a tough-nosed kid.
Yeah. Yeah. But
this crowd got quiet quickly. You hate to see that with 3 seconds left in the game, but that's just the type of player he is. He gives it 110%.
Yeah, Rob, I mean, you know, it could be 3 minutes, 3 hours, 3 days left in the game, and that's just Trey Lopez, you know, going all out.
So like you were saying, the boys are away on Friday at Madeira.
Yes.
Girls are away on Saturday at Reading.
Have you seen the
Let's see if we can see what happened to Trey here. Hopefully it's just I'm hoping it's just the ankle.
Yeah, it's definitely an ankle. So. Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Just wanted to make sure it was the ankle and not the knee.
Sure. The girls, if you haven't seen them, starting 2 freshmen and playing extremely well. Isfording and Riggs, Ella Riggs, averaging, I think, 17 points a game. Just a terrific start to the season. Really like what they're doing in the program, too. Rachel Smith taking over as head coach. Her dad and her sister both coaching over at the middle school. So you know they're going to bring those kids along and hand her a good group of fundamentally sound kids. And if they've got talent to go with it, which you're seeing right now, hey, sky's the limit for that team.
Yeah, and talking about a basketball dynasty family.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe Rachel Smith. That's not her maiden name.
Yeah, no. And Arrington all the way. And, you know, that's a family that's just done a tremendous amount for youth all through the city, the Angels program. And then you think about Phil Arrington, the Cincinnati Spikes, and faith-based organization and what they've done for baseball players here in Cincinnati.
Team comes out to carry him.
Yeah, athletic director Haskamp, Terry Conti. Of course, Johnny Baltimore, Jalen Thornton.
I just want you to notice, Baltimore looks like he's carrying him. He's not carrying him.
Yeah.
That's all Jalen Thornton.
Yeah. Jalen's
and the AD, Matt Haskins.
Yeah.
New AD here at Indian Hill. We're glad he's here. Comes from Kentucky, from a very successful athletic program down at Highlands.
A couple of them, Highlands, and then over at Covcath for a little bit. And amazing what's going on down at Covcath. Both football and basketball. These seniors this year, I mean, Jalen, Johnny, Ben, it's just incredible group of guys, really is. Colton, Brian, Sam. But Johnny Baltimore in particular, I noticed even throughout the course of the game, trying to get guys in the right place, really doing his job as a senior. It's a guy that has played with some really talented older guys and was always a good part, but really a leader at this point.
And this one will go down to the Braves, 46-40 at the end of 4 here at Indian Hill Gymnasium, where the Braves beat the Anderson Redskins. Great second game for the Braves. Big game on Friday. That'll be a telltale sign of how well we are ready for league play. One thing about the CHL, like you said, we always look at that Wyoming rivalry, but every team in that league has the opportunity of beating their opponents.
Right.
Whether it's Madeira, Marymount, Deer Park.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, Deer Park ran the table, won the state last year. We can talk all the controversy you want.
Yeah, you have to look at Deer Park and Wyoming certainly as favorites. So it makes the game on Friday night that much more important. If you want to separate